The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy. It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and germs and bald-headed worms? Welcome into another edition of The Wyldeside with Eric Clark. I'm your not at all humble host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my little video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Help it grow. Let's get to 20,000 now that we've hit 10,000. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And you're following me on all the social media platforms I have linked down below. That way, if there's a band, song, video, something you want me to check out, you can hit me up with a DM or you can leave it in the comments below. If you are going to hit me up with a DM, no spamming, please, unless it's actual cans of Spam, and then there's a shipping address down there. If you are going to leave it in the comments, join the I Concur Army. The ICA is worldwide and growing. Meet twice a week. All you have to do to join the I Concur Army is give the comments a cursory glance. If you see that your suggestion has already been made or you see a suggestion that makes you go, all right, all you have to do is like that original comment and below reply with I Concur. That'll help my old burnout resin-coated DJ brain put everything into a nice little organized list, and I can put it into the handy-dandy notebook. And as I said, the I Concur Army meets twice a week, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time here in the U.S., and Saturdays 2 p.m. Central Time here in the U.S. 2 hours of fun and frivolity live from the east side of Music City. The Wyldeside Live, twice a week. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel. It's easier than my sister. Before we get started in today's video, I do want to say thank you to Connect 200 Music to See, and of course, Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Today's video suggestion is coming to us via from our lovely moderator, Ruthless Biscuit. She said, hey man, you've got to check out this Croatian artist. He's toured and touring with Nightwish, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So I said, I trust you because you are my Sherpas. You are leading me up my mountain of new music. I actually call you my Concurpas, so I trust you. And today's video, we're checking out Jelusick. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I always try to say them out loud a few times in different ways to see which one sounds more natural for me. So that's how I said it. If, again, I'm saying it the American way, I'm asking you, my Concurpas, to guide me along, fill me in with everything I need to know about Jelusick. This is a track called Reign of Vultures, and I will have everything linked down below to his website. I believe he's going out on tour as well, Dino Jelusick, and this is his band Jelusick, and I'm probably saying it wrong, and the more I say it, it's probably pissing people off. It's Reign of Vultures. It's the Wyldeside, checking it out. bro. Wow. Well done. There you go. That is Jelusick with Reign of Vultures. And I'm probably not saying that correct. Is it a rock song if there's not at least one huh in there? Like, isn't it obligatory that you have to put a huh in your rock tune? Let me jump out of this video real quick and get to my thoughts on that. Excuse me. This is one of those songs that speaks to the inner radio music director in me and I don't want to speak ill of anyone, and my disappointment in the path that radio in the United States and a lot of times worldwide has taken. In the very controlled, very sanitized, very clinical, relationship-driven, almost incestuous relationship with the music industry. It's songs like this that fuel that fire of anger, of disappointment towards that industry, having come from that industry. Because when I started in the industry a long, long time ago, I came in right at the end of what was sort of known as free-form radio, free-form programming. So you would have a few slots open an hour. You could fill those with a request or whatever. I did a thing called the 11 o'clock news, where every night you featured a couple of new tracks. We were very focused on the trajectory of the zeitgeist and the mainstream of rock and roll. We believed our job was to find songs and say, this is what you need to hear. Because when I hear this song, this would immediately go on the air. There wouldn't even be a debate with my program director about this. This is a song that should be on the radio. It should be fed to the mainstream through that venue, because that's what I felt we were. We are the avenue by which our audience is introduced to new music. Because you guys are doing your thing out there listening to the radio, right? Like, you're doing your thing. You're working, you're driving, you're hanging out, you're doing whatever. So you relied on us to kind of be your Sherpa, if you will, in new music. And when I hear songs like this, Reign of Vultures, it automatically sends me into this son of a... Why aren't they all over the radio? That is a perfect... How long is that track? 6 minutes, 15 seconds? Feels like 4. That's a perfect mainstream rock radio song. If you're a programmer and know of them, if you program a rock station in this country or anywhere else, I'm telling you this. If you program a station and you know who they are before seeing this, you should be fired if they're not on your radio station. That's perfect. This is a dirty song with clean light. All right, this is a gritty, down, dirty rock song. And the forward momentum in this track is a perfect pacing. I wrote down, did I say great? Structure. The song is built perfectly because short attention span. So it changes enough throughout the song where it doesn't feel like it's too much. And I've heard a lot of tracks when people submit me songs where I go, bro, you need to back some stuff up here. That's perfect construction. I see why he works with Trans-Siberian Orchestra and David Coverdale and Whitesnake. He knows, they know exactly how to build a great song. The drive, the forward drive. So the colors that are coming through that forward drive, the foundation that's built on the drums and the bass, are this really bright earth tones. So sometimes when you get a metal song, a heavy song, the overall tone of the song, the temperature, the disposition of the tone can be muted or matte in its color spectrum. So they're bright colors, but there's still a little bit of a mist on top of it. Not here. These earth tones, these grounded earth tones that I feel through the foundation of the track. You have the bass and the drum building the bridge and creating those wonderful earth tones. And meanwhile, you have the drums creating this pace for you, almost like a cadence. When you run in the military, you sing to someone singing cadence. They pace you, and you follow it. It's effortless. And I would tell people all the time that if you know someone who can do that correctly, you can go on a 10-mile run and you won't even feel it. That's the linchpin of this song, is the changing cadence that the drum and the bass are creating through the song. So while the guitars and the vocals and the keys, and I'll get to that in just a second, are creating those fantastic spring life colors, you have this bass and drum creating this perfect cadence and pace. So when it changes, whether it picks up or slows down, it fits the moment. So there's nothing out of place here. And that's important because you want things when you're transitioning in your song from measure to measure. You want to make sure that the transitions are adamant, but they're smooth in their transition. The segue is a smooth mix. And every single one of the changes in this song are perfectly placed. They're measure, and I don't mean measure as in the 8 count times 4. What I mean is a scoop measure, right? An amount measure. The measures within the song are perfect. So you don't get stuck in one spot. Like I said, there are times when you're like, bro, you're just doing too much. So let me talk about this guitar. You know, Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top started this dirty chord thing. And Terry Kath, to a point as well, from Chicago, and Jimi Hendrix, people like that, create these dirty chords. And what I mean by the dirty chord is there's a grit to the tone. And a lot of times when you establish the dirty chords and the dirty tones in your song, you maintain that because it's a vein, it's an artery through which the song runs. But what's really cool about this track is what they do with the guitars is they come in with these really great dirty riffs, and they set this really cool tone of depth and richness in that dirty riff. And then suddenly they clean everything up, and the guitars go back into this technical, clean, bright, super bright tones, almost fuchsias, and back in the 80s they would be called hypercolors. Just really bright greens and yellows and blues coming through that crisp tone through the guitar. So what's happening is all of this legendary historic tone that you are looking for in a song introduction, you're getting with that, because you're getting the dirty tone of the 70s dirt. You're getting the 80s technical cleanliness. You're getting the heavy depth of the metal into the 90s and 2000. All of it is coalescing through his harmonies between the vocals, the guitar, the bass, and the drum. So all of these influences are colliding at once. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos about taking something that is familiar and making it unfamiliar. So when you're listening to this track, everything in the song sounds familiar. You're thinking, that's Jackal, that's Tesla, that's this, that's that. And then suddenly you realize, no, I am in my own creation here. I'm in their own creation. And it's all fitting together perfectly. But his harmonies, his vocals, bro, those are super, super clean. And there's these things called onsets and offsets, and a lot of times you can hear them even in studio recordings, especially in the higher cadence songs. You'll hear the vocals strain somewhere at the beginning or the end. They'll ramp, they'll fade, somewhere in there. Even in a fixable environment, you can hear that. This dude's vocals, man, are, if I were to pull it up in a WAV file, if I were to pull it up and look at his vocals in the software that I have, I would see an even peak and valley. I would see this nice, even waveform in front of me. There would be no squeezing on the end, because that's what I see in my head when I'm listening to vocals, and then the color goes around that. And then they drop in that Hammond B3, dude. Look, there are tones, and then there are tones. The B3 sound that he brought in there, that Uriah Heep richness, the Steve Winwood, Spencer Davis group, the Booker T and the MGs, the soul, the absolute soul of a track can be heard in a Hammond B3. So that was just a very well-constructed song. And again, the harmonies, the way he's harmonizing his vocals with guitar and then with keys again, it's just very well done. So obviously I can see why he does, David Coverdale would, well, go talk to that guy over there. I can see why. I can see why he works with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. He is bombastic. He is full. He is grandiose in his presentation and understands how to fill space without pouring over the edges. So very well done. Jelusick, again, I'm Dino Jelusick. Everybody, I trust you. You are my Sherpas, my Concurpas. I turn all of it over to you and say, fill me in down below with everything. I'm going to get further into him. So more suggestions. So if you have a suggestion, leave it in the comments. Hit me up with a DM. All the social media is linked down below. Thank you to Connect 200, Music to See, and of course, Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Thank you to Ruthless Biscuit for the suggestion. Keep those suggestions coming. Don't forget, Wednesdays 11 a.m., Saturdays 2 p.m. Central Time here in the U.S. The Wyldeside Live, more opportunities for you to get me your suggestions. Again, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wyldeside.